Hello. I can't hear anyone. Hello.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. I cannot see you.
Yeah.
Can you see the screen?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can see.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I just want to know whether I'm okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Shall we
I'd like to
start?
be in the center. Are you going to introduce me? I don't see you.
Shanta, ma'am.
Yes, yes, Michelle.
Yeah.
You want me to undo my... Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Michelle.
I'm Lata. Lata here.
Ma'am,
you can switch on your video also.
Yeah, my video is on.
Ma'am's video is on. Shanta ma'am's video is on. Both are on.
Yeah. I like to be in the center. And I'm
Yes,
starting
ma'am.
So after the introduction, we will exit. You can take over the total screen, ma'am.
Yeah, screen I want, so that it is easy for me to. I want to adjust it.
It's raining cats and dogs in this part of the town.
Heavy rain here. Lines are down.
Yeah, same here. Terrible. Did you hear the lightning?
Yeah. How's it in your area?
It's bad.
Raining. Hope the show can go on. Thank you for the opportunity, ma'am. Shanta ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, shall we start?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Lakshmi, am I audible?
Ma'am, you're audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, but I want our guest to come on the screen.
Yeah, she can start the video and come on screen.
Yeah. Good evening, ma'am, and welcome to you on behalf of the department and all my students and Mount Carmel College. Girls, I'm happy to see 100 of you all have logged in. Our speaker for this evening is Mrs. Lata Sadagopan. She is an theater education trainer using puppets as a medium. I welcome you on behalf of all our participants who have logged in and our institution and department, ma'am. We've had ma'am as a resource person some years ago, regularly conducting puppetry courses through the CEE for a paper titled Materials and Methods for Working with Children. Since our syllabus has changed a little, we have not been able to interact with ma'am. But we thought this period was the right period to call her over to give us an insight into how we could use puppets in communication. And to all you students, right from extension education to human development to early childhood education, there is a wide scope for you all to use. Please listen to ma'am, make the best use of her inputs and integrate this into your assignments and projects. Thank you, and over to you, ma'am.
I would like to be in the center.
Yes, over to you, ma'am. Lata, ma'am.
Yeah, I would like to be in the center, ma'am.
Ma'am, you are in the center.
Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
No, I'm in the corner of the screen.
Ma'am, for you, no, you're in the center of the screen.
Is it?
We can see you in the center, ma'am.
Okay, I'm not able to be there in the center. I'll just check. I need to go. No. Somebody should be able to help me.
On your screen, you will not be in the center, ma'am. On our screens, you're in the center.
Okay, I want it because so I have to adjust my puppets accordingly. That's why.
Yes, ma'am. You're perfect on our screens.
I know, but I want on my screen.
Okay.
So that I can adjust my movements. I have to click on my screen. Some three dots will come. Mute by audio and pin video. Spotlight. Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm in the center. Okay, shall we begin the session?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Good evening to you all. I have been working with puppets as a media for communication. And currently, I have been working with different groups where they have used it only for their requirement. And since here for the home science department earlier on, I was using it for the communication skills. Basically, communication skills requires listening, speaking, and mainly that. So based on that, how can we use a tool as the puppet tool in communicating with the audience? The audience size may be small or big. It may be for the younger children or for the older adults. But per se, we are talking about communication. So communication is the transference of message from the uh, speaker to the listener. So we have here four types of puppets. And before that, I'd like to tell you, puppetry is an art, an ancient art. And this art has been passed down through ages, through folklore. And from that folklore, we are taking it to the media, that is communication. Then when you're talking about how do I transfer what thoughts that are in my mind to the audience, I'm using puppets as a tool. Now there are different types of puppets, and the first simple puppet that we can easily make and use, I'm going to share with you. I'm going to make a small puppet and show you, and this is very simple. I've used a paper plate. I've used a paper plate and a stick inside, okay, to make it into a character. Shall I say a character or any kind of a character? So this would be the basic one. Now, initially, I'm using a staple, but when you are doing it, please do not use a staple. Now, staple I'm using only for emergency. Not, it is not safe to use a staple. So I'm using a staple to staple around the stick. Otherwise, I would paste along. See, I would paste along. So now I'm just using it around the paper plate. So any small paper plate will do. You can make a note of it. And this becomes a basic shape. So this is one of the simplest ones that we can use for sharing a story. Basically, when we are communicating with puppets or when you're talking to an audience, we believe in storytelling, isn't it? So I am looking at it for children, for say your early childhood children, and those children, there is a need for storytelling. So we are making one character, and when you see this shape, you can easily guess. It could be a tortoise or it could be a hare. So we are going to make a hare. I've used a simple oval shaped head like this, and I've put 2 ears, one here and one here, 2 ears, and put a little bit of pink for contrast. So this is the simplest and the quickest way I could share with you the making. Now the same technique you can use for when you're making with cloth. So you could take a circular piece of cloth and cut it to say minimum of 4 inches. So this will be 2 inches and the back side will be 2. So here you have the head and the 2 ears of the hare. Now what else would be the feature of a hare or a rabbit? I will have the legs. So I cut off 4 simple shapes like this and a small bit of a tail. Now, what I would like to share with you is we look at the character, look at the physical features of the character and make the basic form to help us to communicate better. Now, I have made a hair here and I've already made a tortoise. So you can see the similarities. See, it's same paper plate. I put the green paper on that shell. I just use a brown color oval shape for the head. And also I have put the beady eyes. So these are the simple things that you can share when you are working. And here I'm thinking of the story of the hare and the tortoise. Now the simple story of the hare and the tortoise travels from nursery class to management class in different levels. So I'm just going to share with you how on this small screen, see, we are used to now the big screen. Now we are reduced ourselves to a smaller screen. And the same method of the theater, we are going to use while we are telling the story. Can all of you hear me? One of you just respond. Can you hear me? Can you
Yes,
hear me?
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Somebody respond.
Yes,
Huh?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So
ma'am.
that I'll know
Yes.
I am in touch. Okay. So let's have this little story of the hare and the tortoise. So the hare says, "Tortoise, you're always winning, so I'm going to win this time." "Oh, let us see about that. Come on, let's have a race. On your marks, get set, go." Hoppity hop, hoppity hop, hoppity hop, hoppity hop, hoppity hop, hoppity hop, hoppity hop. "I'm going to sleep now." I guessed as much. He's going to sleep and he's going to sleep under the tree. So let me see how long he's going to sleep. So the tortoise passes by the tree and then he even goes behind the tree and then reaches the goal. And he says, "Hooray, I have won the race." So the rabbit jumps up and says, "Ooh, I've lost the race once again." So the next day, the rabbit decides, "I'm going to have a race again." Toto says, "Hey, every time you're going to lose. Why are you bothered about it?" No, 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 I'm going to win. I'm going to win." So they have a race. Now the tortoise says, "I'm going to choose the path." So the tortoise says, "Let's go along and across the river and go to the other side." So the rabbit says, "Okay." And they go, "On your marks, get set, go." Hoppity up, 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 hoppity up. "Ooh, the river. I can't cross the river." "Oh, don't worry. See, I can swim. I can swim." "Oh, no." "Oh, don't worry, tortoise. You can sit on my back and we can go together." And they both go together and reach the destiny. So teamwork also works. So this is a famous management story where work can be done together and teamwork is a result or brings best results. So whenever we think about these stories, don't dismiss it as stories only for nursery children. Think how you can apply it to the older ones. What if the monkey joins the group? So when the monkey joins a group, I have better ideas. I can win both of them and I can win the race. So a higher order of thinking happens. So these simple stick puppets can be made just with the minimum number of material. And the material used could be paper or found material, recycling material, and it could also be cutouts. Just a cutout of the animal or whatever character you want as a cutout, and then paste it on the stick. But remember, when you're making these stick puppets, this should be covered completely at the back. And the back side of the character should also be seen. This is one of the necessities of a stick puppet. It's very safe to use, and you can make any very inexpensive and any number of these puppets you can use. It's up to you as how you can visualize making. Now, why am I using this Indian material is that you can make many and you can share it with the children. You can also ask the children to make. So you can have any number of sets of these and keep rotating. You're going to each your numbers, it is possible. Then you can have the monkey song, 5 little monkeys up and down, one fell down, then the 4 on. So if you have 4 or 5 monkeys, you can create or use it in your songs. So this is the first simplest puppet that you can expose yourself to. Now I will show you some samples also little later when the time permits. Okay. Now the next step, we can go on to a little higher level of puppets, and that would be the cone puppet. Now the cone puppet is very simple, and it could be made with just the cone shape like this. You have the cone like this, the cone shape. So it helps you even to teach shapes in maths. So when this shape is there, you just fold it across like this and paste it along this side. So this becomes the cone or the basic cone. So this shape, you can make many characters. Now the completed product of the cone would be a mouse. So I made a mouse here. I can put my hand along this way here. Now again, I told you, we need to look at the features. Now the features here of the mouse, we have the nose, the prominent nose. Then we have the eyes, the big eyes. So in puppetry, normally some special feature is highlighted, and also the size will differ. In the story of the lion and the mouse is a very important character. And this story is also used for the management. I'm not stopping it at only at the school level or the child level. It is at the adult level also. What are the features of the mouse, and why do you choose to be a mouse? Okay, so your strengths are in that particular character. So here we have the mouse in this shape and the lion also in the same shape. So when I'm using puppets, I normally have the same type of puppets so that it's easy to handle. And you will also observe that I use only a minimum of 2 characters because my hands should be free. So I use two characters, and here I'm using the lion. So the lion and the mouse story. So what's so special about this? Here we can use the voice modulation. In all communication, voice plays a very prominent part when you throw your voice or when you lower your voice. It makes a difference to the audience. And you need to have the audience attention if you want them to listen. Okay. So here we have the mouse. Oh, I'm going to sleep now. And don't disturb. Came the mouse. Hey, mouse, I told you not to disturb me. I'm so sorry. Please let me go. Let me go. Okay, this time I'll let you go. And the mouse goes away. The lion goes to sleep. A hunter comes by and he throws the net and catches the lion. Oh, I'm caught in the net. Oh, somebody help me. Somebody help me. And the mouse, I'll help you. And he throws the net and he saves the lion. So the lion says, from today, you and I will be the best friends. So you can give messages. Even though you are the smallest, you can still be the strongest. Such messages. So this happens in our daily life also. We are always afraid of somebody very large, but they may have their weaknesses. So as a mouse, we can look for their weakness and help them at time of need and overcome the weakness. So here we have the cone type. Now this is very good for exploring. You look at the colors, look at the colors. It need not be a gray mouse. It could be a black mouse. So the added feature, the most important is the whiskers, okay, for these animals and the large eyes. So I've used cartoon eyes because it throws up expressions. You can make expressions. So this is one thing. And here I've used the contrast colors and have tried to bring the, yeah, I always use handmade paper, which is very effective. So if you want to explore, please buy handmade paper and you make this, right? Okay. So here it is the size of your palm. See, my hand goes right through it. The size. It's a very handy size, very safe size. No pins used anywhere. Okay. Now, here I have pasted two levels. One is the orange color and the yellow color to give a contrast. Wherever you can give a contrast, you give the contrast. Now all these are about 6 inches in height. Now 6 inches is a very advisable size. Now I'm able to use it even on the laptop for my Zoom lessons, whatever I have made, and I can use it for the full classroom. It is easy to carry, and this is handmade paper, recycled, so it's very good, and you can always feel the texture of the line. So no need to that you should make it out of cloth. You can make it out of paper, right? You can recycle the paper. So this cone puppets are also very, very popular, very handy. And I have a series of puppets, of cone puppets, because that's what I use with the children mostly. So I would like to share another story with you all. So while you're preparing, you make the puppets and you want to show it to the students or the friends or the audience, try to keep it an amount of suspense. Aha feeling, we say aha in theater, to be very surprised. The surprise moment should be there. So here I have made 4 birds. Oh, so ugly. Just look. I looked at my reflection in the water. I wish I was not so ugly. Just look at that swan. So beautiful and so white and so majestic. Swan, you are the most beautiful bird in the world. Ah, no, I don't think so. Just look up in the tree. Can you see there something green? Ah, yes, yes. Go and see that bird. See how beautiful it is. So the crow goes flying, flying, flying to the top of the tree. And on top of the tree, he sees a green and red parrot. Oh, parrot, you're so beautiful. I'm so envious of your green color. You can easily hide from everyone. I'm so ugly. People just shoo me away. But they call you and give you mangoes and all that. I may be beautiful, but there's somebody more beautiful than me. Who's that? More beautiful than you? Oh, just go across to the zoo. You will find a most beautiful creature there. And the crow sees the most beautiful bird. and that is the peacock. Oh, peacock, you're so beautiful. Shh, go away. Now, there are people who have come to see the peacock, and the peacock is inside the cage. Oh, crow comes back and says, Peacock, oh, you are in a cage. Ah, that's why. My life is miserable. Just because I'm beautiful, I'm miserable. Oh, how I wish I were like you, black and ugly. I would be the most free bird in the world. Coo, coo, coo. Crow says, oh, am I the most beautiful bird? Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Black is beautiful. Oh, from today, I'm going to be proud of my color. And so the crow was very proud of his color, and he flew by saying, caw, 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 caw. Now this I have made out of handmade paper, the same pattern. And here the features are the wings and the beaks that are very important. And you see, you just from a small story, you could make out the values that you could introduce into the story and the color schemes that you can enter into the. No detailing is important. Just the simple, the beak, the eyes, wings, and of course the tail. All birds should have a tail. Even if they don't fly, they should have a wing. So that is how you have to visualize your animals and the birds. Now, going forward, I like to share with you more puppets, which are much simpler to make. And then I will go on to, well, this is a simpler puppet that you can make. It takes only 5 to 10 minutes. And I especially use this particular character and ask the children also to make, even adults, for those who have this fear of a snake. So it's very, very simple to make, and very, very valuable lessons can be shared with the audience. Now, when I'm talking about this particular puppet, this is a Rajasthani puppet. It could be a string puppet. If I just put 2 strings, I can hang it around. I also use it in the maths classroom, where I use this for cylinders, measuring the cylinders, and then counting numbers, and such features. More so, using a character which the children are afraid of. When even adults, it's like the cockroach. You make a cockroach and everybody will jump up and down. So it's like that. So the snake is one of the very powerful puppets. You can have a music, you can have the song, whatever you wish to have with us, right? So this is one more puppet that I like to share, and which is easy to make. Normally in a puppet theater, we have the narrator. The narrator puppet. Here is a combination of a stick puppet. Can you all see it? A combination of a stick puppet, and I can even make the puppet talk. Now we were talking about communication. So instead of me talking to you, the screen, I say, hi, hello, Joker. Oh, I can't see anybody. I'm so happy. Only you are there, Lata. Oh, really, Cloney? Is that true? Don't you like to see the other friends on the other side? Huh? Don't you want to see Michelle? Don't you want to see Shanta? Don't you want to see them? I wish I could, but let's wait till the end. So this is a very simple puppet, just a square piece of cloth I have taken, or a handkerchief, folded it in the middle, stuck the ball to a stick, and I've stuck one ice cream stick here, so that I can have a communication. Now on the, well, we are doing on the Zoom, less action should be there. Less shaking should be there. Otherwise, the image doesn't come. So what is the detail? See that Joker's nose, his mouth, the lips, and his costume by itself conveys his character. He's a joker, he's a clown. So there's going to be some fun show. And normally I make this and go around and allow the children to work with it, and they come up with very good communication. And they start talking to each other. So if an activity is the making of the clown, then the whole class makes it and they share the dialogues, and there is a lot of fun. There's song and dance to it. Now when we come to finger puppets, that is the third type. These finger puppets are the easiest to make, and it all depends on what characters you want to make. Now here the character here is a butterfly, and since the weather is wet, the organic cloth that I have used has crumpled up. You can use handmade paper, you can use colored paper, whatever you want. And before you show it to the audience, just you have to press it down and hold it up. So again, here can you see the features? Very simple, just the body shape, the eyes and the feelers, and then you have two sets of wings. Now this butterfly, I have used two colors, okay, blue in the inside and red at the back. And then I made a small roll of paper to hold the puppet. So if I flap like this, then I'm creating a flying butterfly. If I have made a flower, I can make the butterfly sit on the flower and create a communication between the two. So this is a third type of puppet. Then we have the simple puppet too. Particularly wanted to show you all because you can make this. Now this is again just a finger puppet. Now how does it become a finger puppet? Because I'm putting my finger in. So this is like this, two-sided face. Just the face is enough. If you're able to cut out the face outline, two sides with the neck, you can push it onto your see, front and back. Simple handmade paper with the nose, moustache, features, and a small turban, just to convey that he is a folk person or from the village person. A turban. If I put a hat, he becomes a city person. And for his costume, just a piece of a square, the same size as you have taken for the clown, and you can just take the center of the cloth and push it in. So this becomes it. You don't have to go for details. Okay, you can keep it as simple as you want. So like this, he is a villager. Then he wears a little tie here. He becomes an office goer. And these are the two hats for talking. Okay. So here, this is a finger puppet only, but I've given the costume. A simple costume. And of course, his pair. Like this, her face. So any kind of a dance or music you can have, and you want a conversation or something of importance, talking about self-esteem, or if a person is not able to face audience, you can give that person the puppet and ask the person to speak to the puppet. So for children, it's like a toy. You can give it as a toy and endlessly they will be communicating. So a child who is not able to speak at all converses and you can get the feelings of the child from talking, right? So this again is a finger puppet converted into a glove puppet. Okay? But very simple. You can keep changing the costumes according to my name is Madhavi. I come from um, Bangalore. I speak only Kannada. Like that. Any conversation you can create. I think that's a famous song of Usha Uthup. Right now, my throat is not ready for that. Right. So those are the simple puppets that we have. The glove puppets are the more complicated ones, which have all the features and take a long time to make, whereas against those that take about 10 or 15 minutes, this will take you a few days, because you need to go into the finishing. This is a product, okay? So this is a proper glove puppet. See, I can speak with the hands. I can even make the puppet walk along. I just put my hand, since walk along, jump, and talk. Most talking can be done. So children get attracted. They'll be watching the puppet. They will not watch your mouth. Okay. I always believe that you should allow the child's imagination to be further than us. Otherwise, they'll be watching only the narrator, or they will be watching the manipulator. That's another word that we use in puppetry. Manipulate. I'm manipulating the puppet. So this is very important. And a set of this will carry forward to whatever exercises you want. As I told you, even for the adult audience, there's no stopping. If I change the expression, I can have any number of expressions and puppets of this type. So this is another simple one that you could try out. We go to the higher level. This is called as a 4-cup. I used 4-cup. Many of you must have played color, what color? So you make the 4 cups and then give your characterization. Now the character here is a vegetable. So making a vegetable will be elaborate. So I use this 4-cup technique, and we call this as a talking puppet. So this again with handmade paper is very effective. So you can make you could make a flower. So all the different types of flowers you can share, like this, talking. They can talk. It gives a lot of characterization for the puppet, the talking puppet. We call this as a talking puppet. I have some more talking puppets. Vegetables are very nice, colorful and easy to make with this talking with paper and this. You can try it out, because it's a little complicated to show on the screen because your folds are there involved. Yeah. So lovely color. This is ordinary KG cardboard or whatever you call that sheet only, not handmade paper. And overnight you can do it for whatever work you want to do. So as I told you, stick puppets are very, very important. Stick puppets. There's a small collection I have of stick puppets, which I'm using for my storytelling sessions, which I bring in where I cannot use the the glove puppet. So I use these stick puppets on the second round. First round, I would have used the glove puppet. Then second round, I will use the stick puppets. So all the animals. Again, 6 inches is the size I have maintained. Now, paper brown covers, puppets are also very part of the contemporary puppets. They don't fall into any of the 4 types, but I thought we should share that because that is our range. So the talking puppets are very, very useful. They, here see, you can move the mouth. And this is a crocodile. So you can add on the features of the crocodile, make it out of handmade paper if you want, but it will be of use when you're making communication. When I'm talking, I can talk. See, I can make them talk like this. So you have the crocodile and the fish. Also falls into this category of brown paper covers, puppets, where you are able to, open and close the mouth. Open and close the mouth. That is the idea. To give that animation, we call it as an animation for the puppet, so we can use it. And of course, the durability is very less. It won't last for more than one show, okay, or 2 shows maximum. So since this, I'm using this only as a model, it's holding on. So this is also another simple puppet made out of brown paper. See, all characters. You can, all the costumes, and you can make a cutout and paste it on the top for the brown paper cover. So this is another one with the brown paper cover. So this type. So the different types of brown papers covers are available. So you can choose what you want. Use that as a base. Do the features on top of this. And all you need to do is to put your hand in and put your hand into the fold for moving the head up and down. That's it. You don't have to. So this is all stuff here. This gets released. See, you can move it up and down. The trunk of the elephant. So if you don't decorate all this, just put your gray ears, it becomes an elephant. Okay. This was done for the festival. You can also dress up the covers like this. Now here you see the covers like this. I put the features of the girl here, and when I turn at the back, I get the features of the boy. So I have 2-in-1 puppets. So, and this dress is made of cloth. So I've used different material so that there is some variation. And I can have a conversation. Oh, she told me so much of information about corona. I have to be very careful. I'm going to be very careful and wash my hands twice every time I touch something. I'm going to be very careful. Please spread this message of safety and taking care. Wash your hands, keep social distance, and be very, very careful of what happens. So you can have a 2-in-1 conversation. Now, stick puppets could also be of this manner. Again, I told you this is too large for our Zoom lessons. So you need to cut down the size. That's why I didn't want to. Now, another simple thing, as I told you, made of cloth. Things made of cloth have a special place, and they are always like different. Now here there is a snake made of cloth, and the mouth can be opened and closed. So the technique is the same. I've cut a top part and I've cut it down part, and I'm having a base, just like the brown paper cover. But the material is different. So this is a very popular puppet with me, and it's very easy to manipulate, and the color combination makes a difference. I chose green because the story was about the African animals, but normally try to avoid too natural and don't frighten the audience. When I say audience, it could be children, it could be adults also. Okay. So this is one which I wanted to share. Then we have another set of finger puppets, very simple, finger puppets, especially for your birds. See, birds. Just pushing, just the shape of an oval shape. You have the head and the beak and the feet. That's it. Fly away, fly away, fly away. Okay. Right. When we come to simple human being puppets, again, you guessed, I've used the stick to hold it. So it becomes a stick puppet. I'm using the stick to manipulate it. Okay. So stick puppet, simple with less costume, nothing much spent on the costuming. You have the round face, and most important is the features, eyes, nose, and the hairstyle. And of course, the dress will signify whether it's a boy or a girl. But today, no difference needs to be made. But still, we have to ensure gender discrimination. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. Now, again, face colors are different. Need not be white, cream, or anything. It could be brown skin, black skin, whatever your choice is, or whatever the child wants to, can color also. And here I've used all the waste material from the tailors or from my workshop and created their costumes. Just simple cut and paste, nothing more elaborate for it. Some more finger puppets, which are made of flannel. See, flannel. So conversation, the birds, oh, the bird, fish, oh, parrot, I want to fly. I want to fly. Will you take me up to the sky? The parrot says, you're a fish. You cannot fly. Oh, please, please, please let me do it. And the parrot says, okay, you come out of the water. And as soon as the fish comes out of the water, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. And jumps back into the water. The parrot says, see, I told you, each one of us have to do what we are made for. We cannot try to be somebody else. So from that day, the fish just admires the parrot flying about, and the parrot admires the fish swimming. So you need to create a story. The more emphasis that I like to give is, you first have to design your story. What story do you want to tell the audience? What do you want to share with your audience? So when you want to share with the audience, you choose to have the characters. So you select the characters. Once you've selected the characters, there's the noise coming from. So once you've done that, you can have a good collection of. Now the most difficult one is the string puppets, which I will not go into detail, and I'll tell you the reason. These are not used for communication. So I don't want to discuss about this, but I want to share with you that why we do not use it for communicating. In communication, we need to have the characters close to us. Now, when we are manipulating the string puppets, you will find there is a distance between the manipulator and the puppets. So there's no closeness. Whereas when I'm holding the glove puppets, I'm holding it towards me, to me. I can hold it like this and talk. And see, I can move the hand. So the puppets' hands are movable, everything is movable. But I'm not able to communicate with it comfortably. I have to hold it in my hand, not by the string. So this is a disadvantage of this particular puppet. So I do not encourage, I do not use it in my communication class.
अच्छा है ना हाँ देख ऑरेंज हो गया बाहर रे
Somebody is talking, right? So when this is done, it will be very difficult to communicate. Right? So now I'm going to show, since there is a little bit of a time, I'm going to make a small puppet. Are you with me? Are you listening? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
Yes. So this is a simple puppet which can be made in no time. So what do you think is this type of puppet which I'm putting on my hand? It's called a glove puppet. It's called a glove puppet. And here I can show it this side with no hair. Okay. So the face is very sad, and turn around and I get two hairs. I'm very, very happy. So it shows expression, joy and sorrow. Like that, you can have expressions. So it's a very simple puppet. Again, it just fits into my palm, and it is user-friendly, eco-friendly. It's made of cloth and very simple. Now, how have I made this? First, I've taken a triangular piece of cloth like this, and I've taken two pieces to make like this and joined it together, right? So I've taken one piece here and one piece here. So I have taken two isosceles triangle or equilateral triangle. This side should be a little higher. Okay. So you can just measure, see, it's only the size of the palm, this that measurement, and this a little longer than that. So this is the size. Then I have taken two triangles again like this, and I'm placing it on this part of the. Now I told you, since I'm taking two of these, I am using staple for now because I'm going to take it out and again do the stitching. So I'm just to show you how to do that puppet. So I'm pasting it here like this. This becomes the head. So this is to give different materials usage for making puppets and also recycling the waste. So this becomes the head. Now to the head, I'm going to paste the eyes. The eyes are pasted. That's it. Now, since we are using it both the sides, we should have eyes on both the sides. Okay. Then maybe how many hairs you want to have, you can paste the hairs here on the top. Now, only thing you have to remember, whatever you are pasting, you can stitch it up so that it doesn't fall when you are using, right? What time do we stop? What time do we stop, Michelle?
Ma'am, you have another 1 hour, ma'am.
1 hour. It's already 5 o'clock we started, no?
Yeah, 5 to 7. Ma'am, as long as you want, if you want to end it.
Yeah, and then I want to discuss or share with them some questions, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because, see, right? Any questions that they will ask, and I can share my experiences also.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is how on both sides you have to make. And you can have your story. Right. So here for the mouth, again, you need to have a red. Any other? They can frame their questions and queries and we will answer that, okay? See? The features keep adding on as you are completing. So this is this. So this front and this is the back. Again, I told you, you need to put the eyes. See, it's best to complete the puppet as soon as you are ready with the concept. Make changes along. Okay, so I have like this. So this expressions you can keep changing. Now you can create the hands if you want, like this, add on. Or you can make a smaller hand and paste it. Again, just to try. Now this I use in my maths class. I just give them the shapes and then I ask them to create the measurements and they create that way, right? So this is could complete all the types of puppets. Now, as I told you, string puppets, I do not encourage you to use for communication. But as a puppetry for art's sake, you can collect information about the puppets and how they started out. These are the Rajasthani puppets. So here the hands are movable. Right? The hands are movable and you can manipulate it. Yeah. I think I've shared all the types. Yes. Yes. Can we share some thoughts on this?
Girls, if you have any queries, anything that you would like to ask ma'am, clarify with her.
Yeah, they must be ready because I'm not completed. Now, how do they source out material and what are they planning to do for their project or assignment, any kind of help they want? They can just voice it so that others also can share. Just one or two questions, Michelle.
Girls, anything that you would like to ask ma'am? In terms of material, in terms of technique.
Ma'am, what is the eyes you used on that glove puppet? Paper or googly eyes?
Googly eyes. See, googly eyes are very good. If you use paper eyes, you have the limitation, no? You don't have the movement. But the problem with these googly eyes, it doesn't paste very quickly. Like if I paste it in the morning, I'm sure by the afternoon it's okay. But not immediate. If I should try to shake it immediately, it will fall. So it is best to use paper eyes, cartoon eyes. The white has a base. Then you can make a ball of a black paper and paste it. It will give you two-dimensional, three-dimensional, especially for the crocodile. So the crocodile, you can use that big mash of the paper ball. Right. Now you just look at a picture of the birds or animals that you see and see what is their special feature, what's outstanding, like the toad or the frog. The eyes are bulging out. Then there's a lid on top of it also. So these small details you can make it. But if you have a large number of puppets to make, you have to limit. Now see here, I have used googly eyes. Okay. So for the googly eyes, I've used, and then I've stuck it on a white paper with a black line. If I want, I can give eyelashes also. So it highlights the eyes. Okay. And here, see, for the mouth also, I put some paper inside to give the mouth base, like this. Here, I've just used a beady eye. I've just stitched the bead here. So eyes make a difference. Now remember, all human beings should have eyes, eyebrow, nose, and mouth. So it's like that. You need to have the basic features. That was a good question, because I tend to just assume that you all know about googly eyes. But right, there are different sizes and shape. See the size of the base that you have made, and onto the base, what is the size of the eyes. And always remember, I remember when coming to the college earlier on, I learned that there should be 3 eyelashes over the eye. So now whenever I go, I make the eye for the human being, then 3 eyelashes. So that makes a picture perfect. Right. Yes. More questions about color scheme? Color scheme?
Ma'am, in terms of material,
Mm-hmm.
what would you suggest? We use paper, or do we use fabric, or something to keep in mind as to when do we use paper puppets and when do we use fabric-based puppets?
See, paper puppets are the ones, if they are difficult to make, you use paper. Handmade paper you can use. So for example, the crocodile to stitch. If you're a good, you can sew well, then you can use cloth. But for example, I want to have a set of, say, boy and a girl to start with, or a family. Then I can use cloth. Okay. So here I have used cloth. This is the standard doll making material. The doll making material, and the dress that you all make for the costume designing. And then here you see at the back, I put my hand into it. Now what happens, when I give it to the children, if this lower part is not covered, you will find them all looking like this, opening it out and putting. So let it be complete.
Yes.
Okay, so that's right. The dress should be complete. So these small things you need to take care. Whether it's a kindergarten child or a middle school or anything, they tend to upset. Now this, and again I told you, it's a soft material. I should be able to wash. So if I use fabric, I can wash it and dry it. If I use paper, the chances of it lasting. Now, for example, this particular puppet which I have is made of handmade paper. It's nearly 40 years old, which I have showed you. This one. Nothing has happened. This pair, this couple, for my first time, I've just used white handmade paper and I've just colored with the crayon. That's all. But this still lasts. Nothing has happened to it. And I told you, I can take out and change the cloth color. So something like that you can make out of paper if you want. If you want to, nowadays I don't advise that thermocol ball also, because they are not very eco-friendly. Thermocol ball also you can carve it out and paint it. So try to avoid all those materials. Use handmade paper, that's recycled. And the cloth is a little expensive now. Earlier it was affordable. Cotton cloth has become very expensive. So some of the puppets that I had made was only 6 rupees. But now it's become very expensive. Even the small piece itself works out quite a bit. So here this is cloth, printed cloth. I've used printed cloth and very soft and nice. And very bright colors. See, as it goes on, yeah, pretty patterns are there, checks are available for balls, like that. So fabric is always welcome, but it's time consuming, making, stitching, the fineness should be there, neatness. Here Fevicol helps a lot because it lasts, it holds on for years and years. It doesn't lose its thing, and it's proven very well. Good market for the company. So fabric and good. That's a good question. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Then in terms of presentation, yes, somebody wants to. Yeah.
Ma'am, In which kind of puppet is more appealing to toddlers and kids? Like, what do they prefer more? Is it like the finger one or hand
The
stick?
finger one is too cutie, too small. Okay. Or I would suggest you take the size of the palm. It will be a little big. Finger puppets, like I showed you, the parrot and the fish, are very small. No? It's very good when you have, want to have number count and all that you want to share. But this, the children will put it in their mouth. So you have to keep watching them. So the best size would be this, glove size. Not too big, not too large, not too, what you call, grotesque. It should be very friendly to look at, appeal. It should not frighten. As soon as you lift it, especially with toddlers, they'll start screaming. First of all, it's a stranger. They'll start screaming. So you have to be very, very careful in your choice. And choice of colors also, very important. Choice of colors is such a theme, like pink. Light pink, bright pink is appealing. And for boys, you have to be very careful what colors you choose for boys. Some boys might like pink. You must give it to them. So colors are also very important. Size, I would suggest hand size and glove size, I should say. This is the best. And it's also very handy. All hands will fit into it. You choose, take your palm always. You may be having a small palm, so take some adult's size. So that's why I said 6 inches maximum, minimum 6 inches. 8 inches it will hang on at the top here. 6 inches it will stand like this. It will be stiff, and you also will be comfortable. And once you get used to it, you will feel you will feel that you're at home with it. See, these are the puppets I made nearly 40 years back out of cloth. Nothing has happened. I have washed it about 10 or 12 times. I've given it to the children also to play with it. And the color, nothing, it's made of casement, not velvet or anything, made of casement. Now see. And the name also remains, see, the size. And then we didn't have googly eyes or anything. We had to make eyes of it. See, yeah, simple. Ragdoll. We call it the ragdoll, no? So this is Pinky. Hello, Pinky. Pinky is a name given by the children. So I have not changed. And I'm Pinky. I stay very far away. I stay in Basangudi. Where do you stay? You stay in Benson Town. Oh my, that's very far away. I live in a house, and near my house there is a tree. Tree, will you be my friend? Yes, if you give me a drop of water. Wait, I'll get you a tumbler of water. Glug, 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 glug. Here, you take this. Oh, what's that? Oh, green leaves. Now there will be insects I can play with. Give me some more water. Oh, wait, I'll get you a bucket of water. Glug, 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 glug. Wow, what's that? Ooh, now there are flowers. There are butterflies and bees. Give me some more water. Oh, wait, you're very thirsty today. I'll get you a barrel of water. Glug, 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 glug. You take this. Oh, what's that? Oh, lovely. Mangoes. Oh, we'll have a mango party. Come. All of you. So, the tree and invites all of us for the mango party. And let's go. or for the sake of a drop of water. So, more important, I told, is the storyline. Your storyline should be very simple. It should have a beginning, it should have a middle, and an end. And also, when you're manipulating, you must remember to change your voice according to the character. Okay, so for the tree, I growl, give me some water. And the girl's voice, I change. So voice modulation is one structure that you need to remember when you are making a presentation with your puppets. And also the choice of puppets. How many puppets can you handle at a time? Maximum 2 to 3 maybe, when the third character doesn't appear. Otherwise, you have to depend on an assistant. See, make it joyful for yourself first. And for one thing, I tell you, your communication improves. Not only are you going to make others communicate, you can communicate better to them. So the choice of the storyline, the practice of conversing and creating a script, that is also very important. So you need to have a storyline, you need to have a script, you need to have the puppets, and also you need to have the voice training or voice modulation. Good pronunciation, so that you are very clear in what you want to say. So that is a key of success in communication. It's very relevant in daily life. Just a smile conveys a lot, but words convey more. Sometimes they say action is better than words, all this. But whatever it is, you need to converse and communicate so that you do not have miscommunication. Anything, any other question? Very interesting questions. Yes, any more? Anyone else? Please. Anyone else? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
So thinking questions. Right. So just a little choice of stories is very good. Daily life, your department used to give me wonderful sessions with their stories, issues. It used to be very, very interesting challenges. And so it all depends on how you view your position in this particular form of art. And you can be very creative. You can use natural material also. No harm. See, and then I told you different ways in which you can make the tortoise. This was all these are my firstborn babies, right? They're all 6 rupees. That's what the government had given me for each puppet. So I had to use that six rupees. But it's still holding good. No. And the size, you see the size. Big and small happens there itself. The lion should be bigger than the mouse, we say. But if you want the mouse to be the braver one, the mouse becomes bigger. Now, songs. Try to incorporate songs within your story, your puppets, whatever it is. Try to add on songs, little jingles, little rhymes, some familiar songs that will create a love for, and allow the child or even you just pick up any time any puppet and see there's a difference between a doll and a puppet. A doll will just hold goods sitting on the shelf. Once you take a puppet and you manipulate it, you are bringing life to it. That's why we always say in a traditional folk art, when you make a puppet, you have given life or birth to the doll. And that doll has got feelings. You cannot throw it around the place. You should have reverence for it. Especially during this Dasara, all artists will have worship. So my practice is also, we worship not the god, but the dolls or the profession that we have chosen. Puja or whatever it is done, it is a reverence for that. And that is what we say art education. Today in CBSE syllabus, art education is the basic need of how you can be creative, how you can explore yourself, experience the learning, and develop your motor skills. All this can happen with puppetry as an art. You need not be a great painter, you not be a great tailor, but still you can create just by sticking things around and making it into a manipulative object. That is a puppet. A puppet is a speaking doll, which is given life by the puppeteer. That's you, the one who's manipulating the puppets. Right. Anything else happening?
Ma'am, two related questions.
Yes, please.
When would you suggest we use a puppet stage? And maybe could you share one or two simple ways of making a stage?
I am not prepared for that. See, one thing is stage performance.
Okay.
Stage performance
Hmm.
is different from classroom manipulation. So when I'm doing classroom manipulation, I'm you holding it in front of me and working on it. Okay.
Okay.
So that is my classroom interaction. So I don't have any kind of construction in front of me.
Yes.
For a stage, I have an artificial square. Now for me now, the screen of the laptop is a stage. Okay. So
Yes.
I'm placing my puppets within that square or rectangle.
Yes.
And I am operating from the back.
Okay.
Okay. Could
Yes.
you understand that?
Yes. Yes. So basically, technology is a good, quick stage.
See, yeah.
Yeah.
See, what is missing is the curtain.
Yes, ma'am.
Whatever. So assuming that I'm using the frame of the laptop as a stage, and if I have presented it, in a squares, the scales here on the top, like this. If I make frames like this
Yes,
and
ma'am.
hang the cloth here down, that becomes my stage. So I could just put a piece of cloth here, this side, here, this side here, that becomes my stage.
Ah,
So
lovely.
huh? Just from here
Lovely,
to
ma'am.
here, I put the stage. So
Yeah.
what happens? I am just limited here.
Yes.
That becomes my stage.
Yeah.
So what happens to this when you put the stage like this? You are away from the person whom you want to convey the message.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
if you have an open stage,
Hmm.
you can still achieve the same.
Okay.
You will be seen, of course, but in this case, you will not be seen. When the stage is like this, you tend to hide yourself. Now, if you
Yes.
had observed when I was telling the story of the hare and the tortoise, I was not seen. I was covering myself with the characters. That is a stage. I had created this as a stage for myself.
Okay.
You got it?
Yes.
So that
Thank
is
you.
how it would be. So a stage is just limiting you, whereas an open theater, we call that as an open theater. In the open theater, you can walk in and walk out of the audience. Whereas if you put this frame, you can't walk in and walk out. You're limiting yourself. And also, it needs voice. You need to throw your voice. Now you put up a stage, then you cover the backside. Okay. If I cover the backside like this, that means my voice cannot be heard. I have to throw my voice. I means I have to shout.
Yes.
I have to shout. So, and I have to hold it to the level of the stage. I don't have this freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't have this freedom to go here and there and continue my conversation. I am too limited to my frame. So if this frame, supposing you have a ready-made stage also, you have to sit at the back behind the ready-made stage. Some colleges have invested on that. They have to sit behind the stage and it becomes very difficult because we are adults. So we don't fit into that frame. So you can do a make stage, make fit stage and have it comfortable. Like make, like, just one string and put the ring, like I showed you here.
Yes, ma'am.
Huh? Two
Yes.
string, two pieces of cloth on either side. If you told me, I'd have got prepared for you, just to show you. So it's like this: two pieces of cloth like this, falls down, and this needs a stand to hold on. So you can use it with your dressing, you know, cloth hangers, anything you can convert it. I have taken this, in the hospitals they have this glucose bottle hangings. That stand, I have put two stands
Ma'am.
and put a rod along that and made a portable
Ah,
stage. I take it
lovely
wherever.
ideas.
It depends. You can innovate. Two poles. Normally, when I go to the colleges, I ask them to bring the high jump poles. You know the high jump stand poles
Yes, ma'am.
with the two holes will be there. Then we
Yes.
can put that at the stick. That's what I converted for the stage at Christ College or wherever I go. Where VSV also, they have a ready-made stage. One group, other group improvise every time. Early college, Mount Carmel, the girls used to improvise. We used to have two black curtains and that rope. Naka used to come and tie the rope from one window to another window. It was nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Or turn a table over and make that into a stage. Yeah.
Yes.
But far as possible, go free with the audience, I would say. Because audience participation is important for communication. They must be able to say whatever they want. No ready-made dialogues. But
Yes.
for that, you need a script. The script means you should ask questions to the audience. Like you are asking me questions.
Yes,
When
ma'am.
you ask me questions, I am thinking for, oh, what's the answer? It would be very innovative. It would definitely add value to what you're doing. And one thing I must share with you girls, it's not it's sweats. You sweat, so you lose a lot of weight. Okay, so that is the secret of this. Self-esteem is very high for anyone who undergoes a puppetry workshop or uses puppetry. I have changed a lot. I was an introvert, now I'm an extrovert. So it's like that. So share, enjoy yourself. Okay. Yeah. Anything else, please?
So if we do not have a stage, I'm of the opinion that the puppeteer himself becomes an obstruction to communicate. Because, like, even when you were telling the story of Hare and the Tortoise, your hands and you were moving. So I sometimes feel maybe I'm an hindrance to the child to comprehend.
No, the way you operate it. When you put it in front, the audience will see only this. They are not interested in somebody who's manipulating. When you have a curtain, what happens? The audience is curious to know who is manipulating. That's what I have found. See, when we do a show, after the children are not interested in what they have enjoyed. But the first thing they'll come and pull the curtain to see who's the one who gave the voice. Okay, so that is lost because that is the way it arouses a curiosity. Once they are happy, okay, so and so brought the thing, they are comfortable. But first they like to see who's holding the lion, who's holding the rabbit. All those curiosities will be there. But that initially it will happen. But then the curtain is completely disappears. For a show, you need a stage. But puppetry can go along without a curtain. That's what. You don't have, or you can improvise the curtain. I have not found it any difficult, but here in the classroom, we use it without curtain only. We use it just as puppets, and when narrations go on, we sit on the floor and share the story with the children or the audience, even adult audience, corporate groups also. We sit on the floor and we share. And that is how it goes. If you say puppetry, art form. If you say puppetry show, then you need a stage. So that's what, whenever you ask, request, can you come and do a puppet show? That means you're expecting light, sound, and camera. Okay, show. It's a show, music, everything. So if you say, can you come and help teach us the art of puppetry? That means making of the puppets and manipulation of the puppets and how to carry it forward. The word show means lights, camera. That means spotlight. You need all the extra fittings. You need the background. Just as in the theater, it would happen. So there's a lot of many people just say, "Can you do puppet show that way?" Then I clarify them, because if they are not aware of it, we need to share the meaning with. So that is the purpose. And all these, yes, please.
Here we have our students who also use puppetry in extension education.
Okay.
They may not be communicating a story on, say, for example, the tortoise and the hare or etc.
Yeah.
They would be taking a story, say, for example, they want to communicate about COVID to a group.
Yeah.
So their characters would vary, their storyline would vary. How, I mean, can you throw us some light where you are trying to enlighten an audience who are not aware? Say, even if I want to talk to a group of parents who don't believe in balanced diet or some behavior problem in children. Now they're an illiterate group. So I mean, the extension students are going to use puppets. Definitely my hare, tortoise, my snake, all
No.
these characters may not be of any help. How
So,
would you guide them there, ma'am?
see, in that case, you're talking about issues.
Yeah,
Okay?
yes.
Issues. Supposing health issues or nutrition issues or what do you call it? Safety measures, whatever.
Yeah.
These are issues for people. So who are the characters will be in the script? Will be people, isn't it? So I'm going to share this. This is how, like for example, the doctor's dialogue, the nutrition's dialogue. Then I'm going to take, say, for example, the balanced diet. Okay. So I make puppets of vegetables and fruits, and make that pyramid also to share with them. So I create my script according to that. So I am going to say particular group to talk about the different diets available. So I take a chart, isn't it? I can take a chart. So instead of taking a chart, I take the characters. Say, for example, I say it's good for you to eat spinach, right? So what's the value of the spinach? So you have a little drama or music. We have carrots, green tomatoes, grab, cook, and eat us. That's what we used to sing in the camps and all. So we used to wear masks and go and start off the dialogue. So I tell the values of it and what is the importance of it. So these become characters. They may not be here in the tortoise. You don't have to go that way. I just took that as a samples. So I understand, because many a times when I'm doing the educational use of puppetry in Christ College, I have one science subject, and once every time I rotate. Last time I did this on 7th standard textbook. It was all about vegetables and the importance and all. So when they made the vegetables, and each vegetable gave its nutritive value and to the level to which the audience is. Supposing the audience is children, it's children level. Supposing it's rural environment or thing, they did it in Kannada and things. So it all depends on what you want to use in the story. You have to pick up such things. So supposing like washing hands, like COVID thing we recently did on washing hands and keeping social distance. And there was a third point also to that. Three, wearing mask. Wearing mask. So how do I convey that message? Supposing I was doing a drama, I would have 3 people doing 3 different things. So like that, I have 3 different puppets. And the puppet speaks. Instead of the human being speaking, the puppet speaks. That means puppet is the interpreter for the dialogue. And the entire, it was based on a storybook itself. This, what is this? There is one character almost who is, it's a neutral character. And he says, you are the one who's going to make a difference. So that was a special character, Arius, and he flew around from one place to another in the different countries, and he picked up one child from each country, and they shared their views. The children were sharing their views on that, and then at the end they come back to that one child's house, and that child says, "What am I going to do now? I've seen everyone, I've done a lot." So the area says, now you have to be the person who's going to bring the change. So what is the change you want to bring? So the child says, oh, I'm going to spread around the message of washing hands, wearing mask, and keeping distance. So that way, going back to school, what the readiness for school, that was. That was one activity which we had. So where we used the puppets. So that we had this girl puppet, we had this Aries puppet who was a alien-like, almost like a unicorn kind of thing, who could fly around and all. And then the mother was there. Then mother's a doctor. The doctor, she's a doctor, and she tells child, see, you can go around spreading these three messages. So you practice what you have to preach. So the child wears a mask, washes hands, and then keeps a distance away, going to school. So that is one issue. Another one, I hope that will satisfy you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Some idea, because just recently I did on that. Another one is on waste, not throwing garbage around the place, using the 3 bins. So that was a very community centered learning. It's called a Cloud of Trash. If you get that book, you can use that. In that, the child is always throwing things around. She's keeping the place dirty. Then the mother says, one day the trash is going to take you, punish you. So the trash forms a big cloud on the head. So there's this girl and there's this cloud of trash, a puppet, and who keeps following her wherever she is, irritating her. Then finally she changes her practices and the cloud disappears. But still the cloud is watching. So that's how the link was. That's also like a community segregation of waste, why we should wear the red, blue bin, blue and green bin quality. So the small things which we've done as puppet activity itself. And there we've involved the community members. So as you said, they were first time learners or ready to learn for the BBMP. So we did that.
Ma'am, what are your views on commercial puppets versus the indigenous ones like you have made?
See, the commercial purpose, one, it's a very expensive toy. Okay. It's a very expensive toy. So I just showed you now, this is 6 rupees, right? If the quality of work was possible, then I have a machine at home or something like that. I would have been better and time. So here I've just pasted it. I have not even stitched it. I have not even stitched. Now after getting back, I stitched it, but I have not even stitched. So commercial ones doesn't suit our purpose. See, for example, this one is a commercial one that I'm using right now. This is made by my friend commercially. It is very expensive. Okay. Here the material is very expensive and everything is expensive here. So here I have to improvise. I could make it 50% less, right? And get it stitched in. So now I'm doing that for a couple of NGOs, inexpensive puppets, not of flannel, but of casement. So all this is flannel here, casement. I'm using ordinary cotton cloth, and here I'm using wool. Okay. Now sometimes I also use a wig. Then wig that we get, regular wigs which we wear for the Konde and all that. I'm replacing it with that. So I don't have, it becomes very inexpensive. Within 100 rupees, I can make such puppets. As I say, patterns is the same pattern, only material with it. And here I use Google Eyes. Google Eyes is only 2 rupees, whereas this BD Eyes is 20 rupees. Okay, and that is the difference. And then you have the difference. Well, I think you have the cost of the market is there. No? When you buy from somebody, the brand name falls in it. Yeah. Somebody else want to ask a question, please?
Students, please unmute yourself and ask us. Your doubts may be very different from the questions we asked. Participants, please ask.
See, commercial puppets will be expensive, like the characters that you expect. Supposing I want to make a carrot, I need to, it's not available as I want. I just get a mold of a carrot, that's all. I have to redo it. I have to put the eyes. Yeah, I just get a carrot shape, that's all. So I can take out those things. I showed you that. It's because I'm remodeling those puppets. Maybe I could share it with you afterwards. So I finish it. So this is a commercial puppet, no? This is a commercial puppet.
Mm.
Yeah. So this will be expensive because the wood head, everything is expensive. And if I'm going to make a small piece itself, I need to buy an entire 1 meter cloth. So that's going to work quite a bit. Yeah, any questions, please? Then we can rewind up now. Yeah.
Michelle, take over. See if there are any questions in the chat box. And
There are no questions, ma'am. I guess ma'am is very thoroughly explained, so I don't think right
ma'am,
now.
throw some light on color combinations. You were saying none of us asked.
That's what I said. No, you choose bright colors. And within the bright colors, we retain the red, white, and black. Those are the art colors. Okay, the traditional colors. So placing the traditional colors signifies that this is a folk art. Okay. Now, if I want to, I'm practicing on contemporary art. So for contemporary art, I would choose colors which are favorite with the audience. See, like for me, pink is a favorite with the audience. Okay. So pink, and whenever I have a pink, I usually use a little bit of white and then minimum 3 colors, not too many colors. So if I'm using a printed cloth also, I'm very clear that I have a bright color. I have a bright color. So there I've chosen red, and the face need not be white. So if it's an Indian face, light brown or yellow. Okay. And if it's something like, urban face, then white. But again, bright colors are welcome because they will show up. And they also, supposing I choose colors to, color psychology is a very popular thing now, especially for, giving material and asking the children to choose. The child chooses red, it needs a lot of attention. Okay. If you chooses, I think you people will know better, of course. So, and then colors for vegetables should be as close as to the natural color combination. Again, I've used a contrast, a green and a light green, a contrast. Then the mouth shape, color, whether it should be pink or red. Okay, preferably pink. Red only if you are not, if you want to convey harsh terms, right? Now here, see the skin tone of this man is brown. Again, color, brown color. I've used. So color, first primary colors, red, white, and black. The second will be the secondary colors you choose. That is the favorite of the audience, and that is the best. Now, for example, if I'm making an ant, I have to use something very close to what it is, to nature. So the black And then this is a red dance that I want to convey. So I glue. But look at the eyes. They are bulging big. And then here also I keep a count of the number of legs. These are the small details you need to remember. Color for the hair, if you are foreign, then yellow color. If it's Indian color, it has to be brown and black. That's it. Yes. Bright colors, 3 primary colors you use and do it. And it need not be, very close to that. Supposing I don't have black paper, doesn't matter, I can use brown. Okay. And then a tinge of paper or color up like that. So, and lips, red lips of best. Pink lips will feminine. So feminine, it should be for women like that. So Indian faces, put the Indian colors.
Sophia, you raised your hand. You have a question.
Who?
You want to share something, Sophia?
Sophia. Sophia says, come on.
Sophia, you had raised your hand.
She's not unmuted.
Unmute and ask, Sophia.
Many of your girls are entrepreneurs now. They are using this puppetry, whatever workshops they have attended with me. They are running such major events, birthday events, and great pocket monies they are earning. I don't know whether you people are track of them, but some are running in event centers. So they asked me also to come in. But the joy is the way they look, puppetry is looked at by each group. It's very different. Ma'am, this is a second semester, third semester students?
Final year, 5th semester. It's a mixture of all people who are interested. First, second, and first, third, and fifth.
Okay. Yes, somebody was asking something. Yeah, let there be a kind of humor whenever you're meeting a puppet or even sharing any issues with the Anganwadis, no? You go for? Where are you all going?
Preschool basically and community.
Community. Which community sort of?
Depends. Now with COVID.
No, not now. But even now, not to the school, no?
No.
Do they still have that internship to go to?
We have, but we don't. As of now, everything is standstill this year.
But it's a good sharing, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please.
I have a different question.
Any questions? Welcome.
Ma'am, puppetry is known from a very long time.
Yeah.
So, can you share your experience of what maybe you had while, I've always heard that puppetry used to be before on roads, like people used to wait for a puppet show, and they used to all sit together and watch the play performing. So, what kind of plays they used to do at that time? And what was your experience if you've ever had it, ma'am?
Yeah, sure. See, puppetry started as a folk art. So these puppeteers were nomads. They were used to travel from one village to another, mainly carrying stories of the Ramayana and Mahabharata. You've heard of those stories, no? Ramayana and Mahabharata were completely the mythology stories. And they used to camp in the villages and share the stories. Even today in Mysore, it happens, especially during the Dasara season, till the Deepavali season. They have the stories of Rama and they have the stories of Mahabharata. So that was the sharing of the old mythology and folklore. And time to time now, they were all modernized. So recently when I went to Udaipur, the old timer, they still live in the nomadic stage. The person, he made this for me and these puppets on the spot. And these two are called as Raja Rani, which are every household will have it. It's a symbolic of fertility. Okay, every household should have this Raja Rani as a symbol of fertility. What is the meaning of that? That means they were their well wishers. Okay, so from my experience, I was exposed to puppetry when I was till the third standard when I was studying at Sophia High School. We used to have a puppet corner, and for us it was Punch and Judy. Okay, so the puppet theater, like ma'am was saying, the theater was there in the room, and we children could go pick up the puppet and we would, speak and talk about it. So that's when those Irish nuns had found it as a scope for communication. So all of us who were very quiet in the class, we were forced to go behind it and we had to say something on our own. And that's how our communication.
Just the shape of an oval shape you have here.
Somebody is talking.
Ma'am, I have a question in the chat box from the YouTube viewers.
Yeah.
One of the students says, I have a doubt. My sister's daughter is 5 years, but now she cannot speak. She has some trouble like fear. So can I use this as speech therapy?
Very rightly she can do it, ma'am. As I told you, just holding a puppet itself. Ask her to give not a doll. Ask her to give a puppet that can, she can interact with. If she interacts, ask her to share the puppet with pushing her hand inside it. Even if it's a doll at home, she can make the child push the hand. Just leave it and talk. So if she is just moving it and talking it, she will also repeat it. Some children have the late ability to speak, isn't it? Speech therapy. And these are for special needs children. Puppets are very useful for developing their motor skills and also even to converse, create conversation. That's what they do. So that's what would happen. So it's very important that you need to have the free movement, keeping it in your hand. That's why I say string puppets are not advisable. Yeah. So my experience can I complete my experience?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So from then onwards, that theater kind of thing was always in our mind. Then when I became a teacher, I was identified by the NCRT and the DSCRT to be a candidate for getting trained in puppetry, but for educational use. They were very specific. We were not expected to do performances. So educational use meant that we created subjects or like topics and enacted it for the children. Children should enact it. And the children had to create the script also. So I had the experience of 47 children with me, and I used to take them in as a troupe to activities with the museum, Vishweshwaraya Museum. We did a program for man's landing on the moon. So these children were the ones who enacted with the puppets behind the stage with the multimedia, that is sound and light. That experience they had. Then we worked with the community of St. John's Medical Hospital. Now these children worked on the health issues, how vaccination should be given and things. So we had the live experience of going to the community and the children were performing. And whatever difficult questions they had, ideas they had, like infectious disease, they showed on the slides, whatever topics was there, and also vaccination and nutrition. With the songs, they sang the songs for the children and the puppets did the action. Then we did a program for Society of Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. All these 40 children were in the play where the animals in the zoo went on strike. When the children came in, because the children misbehaved with them, the animals said, no, we are not going to show our face. So there was a cute little song also. Then the animals stayed away, hid behind, the children were disappointed. So that was again another learning of being kind to animals. That message throughout the community, we went to 45 schools and we put up these stage performances there. But what was the thing? During the class hours, they were rehearsing and they were writing the script. So we didn't have to teach them. The concepts were, just by interchange or exchange of ideas, they were able to carry forward. Then it became like, so commercial, what you call, not commercial, language teaching, different plays and all that. Wherever the child doesn't have an opportunity to be on the stage, we put them behind the curtain and they participated in. And now around, I've been working with the school B.Ed and D.Ed colleges, where every year at least 140 people are exposed to puppetry under my thing, and I give them the experience of one topic, and we do that in within half an hour. They have to complete the presentation. So they make the puppets, they make a presentation, and that's how I've been. My growth has been like that. So to NCRT, when I went to Shillong, I was a resource person, and to Ajmer, I was a resource person for this particular uh, field, and I've made paper presentations on this particular topic on education use of puppetry for early childhood um, education, ECC or something they call it, sort of a part of the school education. And throughout Bangalore, Mysore, everywhere, I'm sort of going as a resource person, mainly to ensure that the teacher creates a puppet play without a stage, with a stage, whatever it is, and using the textbook concepts I'm spreading it in. Okay. A lot of topics like history, they say is very difficult. They say maths is very difficult. So we enforce a topic on particular subject and we work with it. And always when we talk about the children who are not able to express, you are giving them an opportunity to express. That's where the speech therapy comes in. The pronunciation, phonetics. Now phonics group is continuously working on this, and I introduce them to everything, whatever it animals and birds, everything. But you got to substitute it in the same method. You need to substitute it. That's it. So every time if you take something, this medium is not enough for us. We need a 1 day workshop to make the complete finish of the product and make a presentation as such. So I have just chosen a pattern where I can give the different types of puppets. Now I expose the stick puppets, then the glove puppets, the talking puppets, and the string puppets. So it's a package kind. We cannot do more than this, I feel. And especially after the lockdown, I have been interacting with teachers particularly. Many of them have the requirements for the academic interests. So it is only like people's department people have different interests. And all the time, it's not that you have to use string puppets. For communications, because this thing is communication skills, glove puppets are best. And since you're from the psychology department, other department, therapeutic is what it happens here. Sometimes you ask a child to make a puppet, also it's therapeutic. Giving a choice, if they choose to have a red face, it's a color psychology predicts the emotion of the child, and you can change it through the time. So that is how it should happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alicia has some views. Okay.
Yeah.
Michelle?
Yes, Alicia
Take
wants
over.
to share. Alicia, you can share that, and with that, we will close this. Alicia,
She on?
yeah, you can share your comment with ma'am.
We'll read it if you don't want to.
That's a
Yeah,
very
please,
nice way to kind of
Yeah,
end.
yeah.
Okay, ma'am, I will read this out.
please.
Alicia says that puppetry was just a child's show to me earlier. However, my views have certainly changed now. I'd like to ask you, how would you break the default stereotypes of this beautiful art form among the general public?
Yeah, that's thank you so much. That's what I've been doing from day one. So whenever I said those are two words, I say puppet show is different, art of puppetry is different. And the moment you say a show, it means having the lights, camera, and the stage. When I say art of puppetry is what is a puppet and what in what way is it of use to the community. So I have introduced it through the educational use of puppetry. And this, I am carrying it forward. And every time I come across this urge saying, can you teach us string puppets? I say, why string puppets? So they say, no, we want to see, we always see this Rajasthani puppets. So I said, can you understand that song? Can you understand what that puppeteer is trying to convey through that song? And is the puppet talking to you or is he talking to you? So I am continuously working on this and I accept them. Supposing they say, ma'am, we came with an intention that the mouth of the puppet will open. I said, yes, sir. It will not open because we are still in the rudimentary stage. If I want to make a talking puppet, I need the full day. It's an art by itself. And why would I want to use something which I'm not going to continue? Okay. If I'm going to have a talking puppet, I'm happy with my paper puppet. Why should I make a doll? Why should I have that stuffed doll? I am very happy with my paper puppet, which can open and close its mouth. So that's as simple as the logic. So I keep, that's how I'm going to break the myth. Very few people. Now making opening and closing mouth itself is a art by itself. I told you it's a 4-cup thing, which is time consuming and it takes a long time to understand the mechanics of it. And if I have everything on hand, I'm easy. So instead of this face, I will have a man's face and this man's mouth. Finished. My thought. Why should I go into the complicated way in which I can, instead of which I can use a less difficult one. So I don't hesitate. Like, to Alicia answered, who asked the question. I am going to make the myth. I have broken the myth. Every time the people are argued with me with what kind of puppet show. I said, I'm going to show paper puppets. I'm going to make this and the types of puppets. Can you teach them string puppets? I said, no. I can teach the string puppets, but not for this session. It's the second session. They should understand what is puppetry before I go into the manipulation part. Because it needs a special manipulation, it needs a special stage direction, and needs special talents of music. Here, my intention is to make the communication system, make myself heard, and make others carry forward what they have heard. That is my intention. Even if I have out of 100 people, one person being dedicated, it happens in every group that I do. There'll be 1 or 2 persons, and I have a small WhatsApp group of that group. And they continue to keep telling me, ma'am, this is how we are exploring here. So I have launched courses also. Yeah. Yeah. Is it time?
Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
It's been very informative, Lata ma'am, and through your stories and the many different types of puppets, you've held the attention of our audience as you shared with us how and where we can use puppets and even the simple ways of making them with easily available materials. You showed us paper, you showed us fabric, and even hankies, and that was very interesting for me. I'm also sure the very attractive narrator puppet and the others that you shared with us, I'm sure the students will try to make them as they keep in mind, the various features that you told them to focus on. And as you took us through these 2 hours, ma'am, really, you beautifully brought out the values of puppets, not only in communication, but also in academics, socio emotional development, I'm sure that our students' creative juices are just bubbling over. So thank you, Lata ma'am, for accepting our invite and for sharing your time, expertise, and passion. I think it's a great way for all of us to end our work week. So
Yeah.
thank you very much for this, ma'am.
Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. And I'm so glad that I had this opportunity with you all. It makes me a better person, right?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes.
So
Shanta
can
ma'am?
yes, ma'am.
Yes, Michelle, you can end it. Thank you from our side, all the faculty, students, and Mount Carmel as whole family of Mount Carmel, ma'am. Thank you for being with us and sharing your